Eli Manning stays on his feet. It is caught by Tyree.
Welcome to another episode of Catch the Moment podcast. This is where you come to get you to your next moment, take you through the process, the pain points, and the journey. Here with Chad Kimsey. What's going on? Always on point. Talk to me.
How you doing? Good to be here.
Man, listen. Finally, so I'm gonna get into, we always got our little tradition where we got to get a helmet catch story out of you.
Okay.
It was dope. 2020 hits, pandemic hits, and I'm out of the front office with the New York Giants, and we opened in this clean juice store in Morristown. And I'm telling you, Pete, it was this dude who was just showing love, and you could just see the love in his eyes. And that's Chad Kimsey. He was always on point, stepping in the clean juice, grabbing him a little wrap, little smoothie, little something. So I appreciate it, man. I had to make sure we got your story and brought you to the table.
Man, always.
This is our little formality and tradition. You got to give us a little helmet catch snippet. Where were you the first time you ever saw the helmet catch? What do you remember? Any story you got?
I was actually visiting Atlanta.
Okay.
And
In the A?
a friend of mine was the huge Giants fan.
Okay.
He passed away.
Oh, was it like shortly after?
He's from Queens, but he was living in Atlanta. Something happened. He passed away. And me and some friends went to a sports bar. Okay. And the Giants hit the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he's a huge Giants fan, diehard, everything. So we in there, we in there for him, and we in there because it's New York at the same time. So we in the sports bar, and a friend of mine, he goes by the name of John. We seen the helmet catch.
Yeah.
He literally runs out the right. He literally just took off down the block running.
Just go.
Yeah, and we was like, and then we got the win. So it's like at the same time, it's like, we felt like that was a moment that it was him and then you, and then it was a good moment.
Oh man, see that's why I ask it, man, because just through the years, so many crazy stories, and for different people at different vantage points, but connecting it to somebody that really held meaning, families cried through it together. It's dope stories like that.
Big moment.
Oh man, that's huge. I love it. All right, man. So tell me, man, so always on point. I caught you on the gram. I eventually man, I don't even know if I found you on the, you probably posted and showed us some love. And so I go through the gram and I see a picture with you and DJ Khaled. I'm like, okay, what's going on? what's going on here? So talk about, just some of your journey. Obviously you do management, right? And I know you have a background, but, obviously this is the creative generation, right? We're in a digital creative generation, and there's so many opportunities for anybody to get on the road and create something for themselves. Talk about how you found yourself in this niche, what drew you to it. Yeah, take your time.
It dates back to, just the love of the game, and, I'm going to share it here, but, I've been in the game for about 15 years.
Okay.
Not even DJ Khaled knows that my aunt is legendary Roxanne Shante.
Yeah.
So growing up, I just, go to events with her, go to shows with her, and I kind of broke away from that, and I was going to networking events on my own. So, nowadays, everybody's famous. But back then, when I was going to certain events and things, you had to be who you were.
You had to be that dude.
There was no social media. It was none of that. So I always knew that, you have to provide a service. So I came up doing promotion. And I always liked what DJ Khaled was doing as far as working with everybody, his unity, his energy, just all of those things that come with him. And I started promoting his work. And I would always make sure wherever I was, it was somewhere that you had to be. No matter how much money it took, travel-wise, I always put myself in a position to be where I needed to be. So I kind of you could say I invested in myself.
That's good.
And, I knew the vision. I always, I knew the vision where I wanted to go, climbing a ladder. So I came in, I can't just say, hey, I'm Chad, this is what I do. Okay, nice to meet you.
Sure.
But I came in on a level where it was you know what? I'm going to provide a service, and I'm going to make you like me.
Yeah.
So that was what I did. I went hard. So whenever he would go to this place or that place, I was there. And he was like, yo, I just seen you in, how'd you get here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like no choice. You kind of had to.
Yeah, respect that.
So I put myself out there. I promoted, and he had other artists, Ace Hood at the time, and, you know, affiliated with Rick Ross and everything else. So I just always positioned myself to be there.
You talked about definitely the legendary Roxanne Shante. So where's the origin story? New York, Jersey?
New York.
All right, so what was it like, you know, like, and like I said, I don't try to romanticize any, but what was the upbringing like? What cultivated some of that awareness, hunger, that kind of led you not just into the industry, but kind of gave you some of that awareness? Because you talked about positioning, you talked about persistence, and you talked about already investing in yourself. And this is really how anyone is going to find some measure of long-term success. So what was life like growing up that kind of cultivated some of that hunger?
Just being surrounded by music, just you know, just the love for it, the drive for it, and the culture.
Yeah.
We all a part of the culture somehow, some way.
No doubt.
So it was just, you know, just I seen myself there.
Yeah.
I believed, and, you know, watching her doing her shows, and you know what? I could take some of that and put it with me to do that.
So, you know, you actually alluded to it, and this is one of the fun conversations for me, because obviously my helmet catch was pre-social media, right? And my career is basically pretty much pre-social media. By the time I'm done in 2010, Twitter's popping or just gets off. So, you know, you talked about the difference between everybody being famous now versus the people who had to really be that dude and create a pathway, right? What are your thoughts on that? Because, like I said, I know artist management. Like I said, you've gone from, you know, this road grind, which I want to hear more about, to also, like, you know, artist management. How are you tempering the two worlds and trying to create a path line of success with somebody who is famous but might not be that dog or that dude like that?
You mean as far as? Like,
yeah, just the artist, like what their perspective is, right? Because it's like if you got 300,000 on Insta, right? Everybody just probably feel like they got it,
and they don't. Yeah, they don't. They just be real. So it just, you know, you gotta just always see in anything you do.
Sure,
you have to follow your road and do what is important to you and what you believe in, and you'll get there. And it's just, you know, the road is hard, but, you know, it's something that you want to do. Like anything, you'll get it.
What would you say? Like, what was your point of at least in your mind, of breakthrough? Like, okay, you grew up in it, you have the aspirations in it, and you're paving your way. But what was the point where you're like, I'm here?
Earlier, I said that I kind of put myself in certain situations.
Sure.
I realized that changed when I was invited certain places.
I like that.
And I would go places.
I
would go places, and I would introduce myself, and they would say, I already know who you are. You know? And I remember once I was talking to, there's a guy by the name of Kevin Lowes.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know that one.
I walked up to him, and I introduced. He was like, you don't got to do that. I know you are.
Oh, you gotta feel good.
Jim Jones, Dipset.
Yeah,
I said it to him a few times. I used to work with him before I worked with Khaled.
Dope.
I went up to him a few times, and he was like, "Stop doing that. You don't gotta do that. I know who you are." And previous to actually working with Khaled,
sure,
I introduced myself to Khaled, and he said, "I know who you are." And he was like, whatever you need from us, let us know. And that was the
bridge.
Yeah. Rick Ross. Prior to that, I walked up to him, and he was like, I told him, you know, I'm Chad, always on point. I'm the one that's doing he said, oh, okay. And then he did a double take and was like, you go hard. So it's like, in his mind, he was like, okay, real quick. But then he kind of got to his senses and was like,
give that respect.
Yeah. So
that's good.
Ever since, I just always had the respect that people know who I am.
Yeah, I love the way you actually explained that, right? Because it's I tell people, you know, like when it talks about value, You know, and it's one thing to believe that you're valuable. It's another people to tell you that you're something, right? So your values determined by what other people will say about you. So, you know, that's kind of what it made me think of. So even when I was talking to athletes, you know, they think they're that dude. But if your GM don't think you that dude, it don't matter how much you think you're worth. And so I like the way that you shaped that, because it's like, man, when other people invited me, there was the shift. Like, I know I'm that dude internally, so you have to believe in yourself. So what are some of, like, when you think about core, like if you want to call it core values, like what are some of the words or things that you're kind of navigating your life with that you already said put you on that pathway to ascend to a place of success and stability?
I always tell people that, you know, when you have like a 9-to-5 type of job, you have a piece of paper that shows everything that you've done.
Yeah.
In the game, it's more so like your face card. So you're like a walking resume, and you can be slowly but surely pushed out the way if you have a bad face card. People want to do business with people that have a clean face. That's a saying in the game too, like clean face. Like
clean face.
Yeah, like you have to have a clean face, and people want to work with you. You can literally scare the money away. And that's just something that I've always tried to make sure I always had, like.
So even when they refer to clean faces, that's something like just reputation,
reputation, your morals,
excellent.
What, you know, things that you'll do. You can say no.
Yeah,
you got to have boundaries too. Even if you're climbing the ladder, make sure, you know, people don't want to feel like I can just make him do that because he wants this.
Yeah.
If you can say no, people respect that. Like, okay, he knows what he wants. He knows what he's trying to do.
Come on, my dog feeding y'all the gems, man. He giving y'all the boundaries. Come on, man. He giving them the face card. I'm about to adopt some of that language. You know, some of these players, they need a new face. Hey, so what was one of your more deflating experiences? You've been around some of the most well-known personalities in music. So what was one of those, like, maybe a letdown? It's like, you know, like, damn. I thought better than you, homie.
Being close to certain people that you may think highly of. Yeah. You learn that they really not who you thought they were. Sure. And it's better to be a fan than a friend.
Yeah, some people you don't want to get close to just to think less of them.
I really was like, you know, some people I wish I just wouldn't have met. Like, you ever heard that saying, like, I wish I could unmeet you? Yeah. Like that applies to a lot of people in the game.
Yeah. That's not surprising. Yeah. And, you know, it's funny because I personally, like I said, I'm Jersey all day, so I don't have a celebrity bone in my body, right? Like, I do have if you want to call it a celebrity moment, an iconic moment, this historic moment.
Which is legendary.
Yeah, big love. So, you know, it's good to be invited into certain spaces, but once I got there, even back in the day, I'm like, oh, y'all different. Like, y'all, you know, even when folks ain't in Hollywood, they Hollywood. Yes. Yeah, so I definitely understand where you're at with this. You know, give me an example of somebody that you may have met that was either the most impressive or the most grounded in the game.
Beyonce.
Stop it.
Yeah. Because she has every right to be whatever she wants to be. And I had the opportunity to go on the Run Tour 1 and 2.
Say word.
Yeah, and just passing her in the hallways and just, you know, because Khaled was a guest on that tour.
Got it.
So I was there city to city, and I was able to see, you know, everything. She's just, you know, humble and soft-spoken, and she's not like somebody that is starting out who may tell you, go that way, get out the room, or she's not like that. She's like, no, let them in the room. Like, they need to see this. Like, she... You know, and
I'll take another one. Get some big shout. Big shout Beyonce. Listen, not a big fan, but big shout Beyonce. She got enough fans. She'll need me.
Jay was in the background. He wasn't on the tour, but he was.
Making sure.
Yeah, that's his wife. So
making sure folks don't cut up.
He's very, you know, grounded, humble.
Yeah.
Has every right to be whoever he wants to be.
For sure.
And
just grounded.
Just grounded, yeah.
That's good to hear, man.
One thing I want to say is a lot of people that have high positions, they their soul is way better than the people that are coming up. Like,
amazing.
Yeah, it's like that.
You know, I wonder if that's based on just the experience and obviously with people like Jay and Beyonce, longevity.
Yeah. Or
I wonder if it's, sometimes it's just age and immaturity. And I look at my players that way. It's like, working with these guys up at least through 2020, and they don't, their brain ain't even formulated. They say a male brain ain't even right till about 24, 25, 26. So exactly. I remember, listen, man, I remember being dumb. I was out here in these streets, 22, 23 years old, riding around in an 89 Oldsmobile, smoking weed every day in Irvington. Like, in these streets, bro. Yeah. So I totally get it. Let's get back to you, man. What are, talk to me to some extent about, so I know a large part of your relationship was kind of centered around what was going on the road. What are some of the true service that you're providing? Is it a peace of mind? Is it the scheduling? And I'm sure it's all of it, but when somebody's working with Always On Point, what is the greater value that you're bringing to them?
I'm providing always on point. You're gonna be on point. Be time management.
Excellent.
The ins and outs. I had a couple artists that were coming up, and they were young in age.
Sure.
And you kind of gotta guide them.
Sure.
And tell them, don't do that. I would try to do it this way.
Sure.
Just help them out a little bit, because sometimes they don't know, and sometimes they don't have the right people around them.
Well said. No, honestly, that was a big part of, even to some extent, of what it's a little bit more formalized, if you want to call it, in the sports world, and the fact that transition, right? Life is a moving target.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Transition, career transition, leadership development. At the end of the day, when you're talking about life, really talking about leadership, how you command your decision making, and if you can command your own, then you can influence others in a profound way. And so I can definitely see that. What would you call your defining moment, though? What would you say is you already mentioned how others invited you into the table, but was there a moment where hey, I got the check, I signed an artist, this tour? What would you say is your crowning moment? I'm known for the helmet catch. What about Always On Point?
My defining moment was, I would say, managing a top group, City Girls. That really took me from a point in life where I said, this is what I want to do.
Sure.
And I took that and made my own name.
Excellent.
I actually came up out of that water.
Came up out of the...
And I actually, did what I said I was going to do. And it made me feel like, what? Because I got a long way to go. I'm not done. I'm still writing the story.
Oh, come on, bro.
I'm still writing the story.
We in the lab together, dog. Yeah. When you showed up, like I said, it's not a lot of people, right? And I think that when you can just lock eyes and I'll be honest with you, because this is just me talking out loud. You move into a new city. I was just coming out of the Giants role, 2020 pandemic, and I tell people, man, authenticity just goes such a long way. Whether people supporting because the business is good, or whether they supporting because they just showing you love. Hey, whether it's Black Man, whether it's David Tyree, that's personal for me. I'm that guy. So we in the same lane in that regard. I'm like, people know me for a month. Like, man, y'all, just wait, dog.
Yeah. Like I seen, I was, up and down that street, and I seen before it actually opened Clean Juice, and I was like, you know what? I went in, I was like, I can't wait for that to open. That sounds good. I didn't know nothing about Clean Juice at the moment.
Yeah.
But now I'm educated on it because of you, and it made me want to reach in and tap in and see what was going on.
Sure.
But then when I actually went in, I'm like, oh, it's Black on too? Remember, I was in there like every day.
Every day, bro. Yeah. Every day. I was in it thick for a year. You go from front office of the New York Giants to cold pressing juice in the back, doing a $15 job is humiliating. Like, in the best way, though. This is mine, right?
This is yours, yeah.
This is mine. But you have to deal with the adjustment. And so I can imagine, tell me, a moment, because I like to talk about pain points. What was the hardest thing that you had to overcome, as you moved into that place? What was the that transition phase where maybe doubt was invading or just crossing that bridge? What was your most challenging moment throughout the journey?
Saying that I love to say, everybody can't go. Sometimes you got to leave some people behind. And if I'm going to take this positive route, something that I worked hard for, can't nobody take that from me. So I'm not going to have XYZ around me that can possibly snatch this moment from me. So that's, that was hard. Like people that you grew up with who doubted you, who even when I was telling people I'm going to be working with We the Best, DJ Khaled, and no, you're not. And when I first started coming around him, it's like, oh, wow, he knows him. Khaled used to call me on the phone 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, he's that theatrical. So it's like, wow, he's really calling him. So it's like, you in this world.
Sure.
Like, you have haters.
No doubt.
And as you're climbing your ladder, you have like a digital notepad in your mind.
Well, this
where you writing things down. And like, you might even still be cool with somebody from afar.
Sure. Yeah.
But in your mind, you like, you wasn't here. Like, you know what I mean?
No belief. You
wasn't here. So you kind of like take that with you, and it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Everybody can't run.
Everybody can't go.
Everybody, listen, man. And that's like I said, you got to keep pace. There's times of season where you're walking. There's times where you're skipping. There's times where you're running. And for all kinds of different reasons, people can't keep pace. I really love what you talk. So talk to me, because like I said, I find it very intriguing, even when I got a chance to have a few conversations offline, not just what you did, but kind of how grounded you are. Talk about like working in such in the industry. We know everything is going down, right? Like everything. How do you not get caught up in the fray? Or, what was a moment where have you ever had a moment where you found yourself off base from what you believe internally?
Well, that's part of being on point. You gotta just be literally just that, on point. I have a thing where I tell myself, like, when I'm on the road, this is my job. So where everybody else may see the glitz and glamour and the nice hotels and the plane every other day, and for me, the plane is my bed. That's where I get my most sleep, because once I touch down, my phone is off the hook. I'm the point of contact. So that's where I sleep, because as soon as I get off, it's go time. I got to go get these hotels ready. I got to make sure the venue's good. I got to make sure this art, like I'm literally a babysitter.
Yeah.
Where I got to make sure this grown adult
yeah.
is on time.
Talk about it, dog.
You know what I mean? Like, I got to make sure this grown adult, it's literally like my child. Like, I got to make sure that this adult is on time. And especially when you're dealing with girls, like you got to lie about the time.
Ooh, boy.
You got to lie about the time. Like, you might be going on stage at 9:20, but you got to really tell them, you got to be here about 8:30. You know what I mean? And then they start figuring out too, like, why are we always getting here early? They switched the time. You gotta just make up something on the fly. Like, they switched the time.
I love it, bro.
It happens every day. So you roll with the punches and you get it, and it just makes you just, and that's how it is.
So when you got that much, kinetic energy, that many moving pieces, that many different potential personalities, what's your safe space?
My room.
So what you doing in there?
On the phone with my lady.
Okay.
Just taking a nap. You can't really focus on your nap because subconsciously this phone's about to ring. It's hard when you're on the road. Life on the road is literally hard. It's hard. It's hard. I tried to do the whole vegan thing too on the road, and some of these towns that you go to, it don't match. There's not a lot of food options.
My dog said it don't match.
Like, I tried that. Like, I went for, like, it was when I was with the City Girls, I was literally on the road. I wasn't at home no weekend.
Not 1 week.
Not 1 weekend for an entire year and a half. Not 1 weekend. I was on the road and then when tour happens, you just gone for months.
I'm looking at your lady. I'm just saying, you must be on point.
Yeah. And then you learn, you know, like sometimes, like if you're on the road, I mean, you get like tour is hard because you're constantly gone. You're not home.
Yeah.
But you might have a couple of days. You got to just know how to do it and please your lady. Like, okay, I got 2 days off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some money. I'm gonna just fly out for a day
Sure.
or so, and then come right back home. You know, like stuff like that. Stuff like that counts.
It definitely does, man. I think the value of understanding one another with the goals. You got the Knicks hat on. I'm a Knicks fan. Are you watching sports? Do you ever get away, peel back?
I watch some games. I tune in. You know, got the Bleacher Report going.
Okay,
I'm looking at certain.
Any other sports
highlights.
teams? You keep it honest. It ain't got to be the Giants, but
no, it actually is the Giants.
Okay, smart man. So you got Giants, you got Knicks.
The Giants, the Knicks, Yankees.
Acing. He acing locally.
Yeah.
He acing. You know, the Jets, Mets, Nets are second class citizens.
Now I will say this, I spent a lot of time in Miami. So
you got love?
Miami sports, you know, the Heat.
Yeah.
I like the Heat a lot.
Any athletes you ever met through the years that was dumb cool? Like, you know, any that just brought you a little inspiration?
David Tyree.
Big love, bro. See this guy right here, man.
David Tyree. I remember the moment I met you. I had on a shirt that said "Dope A Dad," and he said, "I like that shirt." And you know, I seen you looking. I'm like, I know him from somewhere, and I recognized the face. And then we met behind the scenes, and you was like, you know, I'm like, that's where I know him from. And then just to see like you fit the description of one of the guys that I'm talking about who are higher up.
Yeah.
That you know you're actually cool in real life.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So you took that time out, and every time I would pass by or, yo, what's up? You know, and we locked in ever since. And that was what, 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's this golden rule. At the end of the day, we're all human, right? It's like, and I've been privileged to have some unique experiences. I've been privileged to have some unique success points, but I know what it is to be just a normal dude. Right, and I just know what it is when somebody gives you warranted or unwarranted favor, attention, and just presents themselves, man. I tell people there's nothing more powerful than somebody believing in you. Yeah. Like, that's what most people who have the ability to do something like monumental, probably the one thing they're lacking is somebody to really believe in them and invest in them. something genuine. So, man, you had that spirit where I'm like, this guy's up to something. And I don't want to oversell Khaled, is because like I don't know the dude. I don't get into like hero worship. I'm like, he's a fantastic on-air personality. I'm like, I think the sit-down interview he did is probably one of the most the funniest moments that he did a sit-down interview with Ross and he was talking about almond milk. That was one of the best moments of my life.
No, he really loves that Cinnamon Toast Crunch with almond milk. That's like his go-to. He's really who he say he is. Everything that you see, he's that. Yeah,
man, that's super duper love, man. So everybody, you're ambitious. You stepped out there into your management season. What's next for Always On Point? And you know, like what do you feel like is the roadmap? Because you've attained a certain measure of success within the industry, but where do you want to be? You said you're writing these chapters out.
It's time for me to step away from a name and, you know, being constantly behind this person or that person or that person. So right now I'm in the process of starting my own management company.
Excellent.
And taking what I've learned over the years and putting my own sauce in the game.
Excellent.
And that's what I'm currently doing now. It'll be On Point Music. I'm going to grab artists, and that'll turn into a label over the years. And, you know, just provide that insight and, you know, just take it to the top.
I love it. I'm super excited, man. I'm trying to think, man. What's more in you, Chad? I'm just saying, this might be a little bit more in you. Might be a little more juice in the squeeze. I'll give you one last one right as we wind it down a little bit. Who would you say are the people that are central to formulating Chad? Who are the, you know, one or two people, maybe if you want to call them mentors, leaders, influential people in your life that you would say are central to cultivating your mindset and success?
God.
Big shout. Team Jesus?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. It's a lot of gods out there.
I'm not perfect, but over the in a recent
public service announcement just for Chad and for all the listeners. Hey, listen, we lost perfection somewhere around like 2 years old where we told mommy no. And I think, I just want to free people in the world. And we don't especially as a people in the Christian faith. Yes. The reason I'm a Christian because I'm jacked up, Now, I do believe that taking on Christ affords us a new liberty and freedom to become the one that can be genuinely pleasing to God, right? Yeah. So, yeah, man, you ain't got to give no, precursors here, man.
Yeah, just God. Like I said, I'm not perfect. Over the years, I've grown closer to God.
Excellent.
My lady kind of pulled me into the church.
Big shot.
I was always close to God.
You sound like you winning, dog. It sound like you winning.
She put me in it deeper, and I'm learning. That's also my go-to person. Also,
excellent.
Anytime you married, so
sure.
Anytime that you have something that is on your mind, it's going there first.
Excellent. Safe space,
and they're gonna tell you, yay or nay, that that's a good idea or it's not. And that's kind of where it goes first, and then after that, I pursue it and make it happen. But yeah, God and her and my mom, dad, and couple close friends, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I'm excited for on point music, right? Yes. Management group that's going to be on the horizon. We're going to be on the look. Where can people find you? I hit your gram up. I know you're not as active as once was on Instagram, but where can people find you so that they can connect, learn more?
Right now, just Instagram, always on point. That's AL. Because I got in ways there's no A. So
okay.
It's always on point regular, but in ways there's no A.
No A in the always.
That wasn't available.
Yeah, man. We'll make sure we try to shout that out, man. But bro, I mean, I don't like to overuse certain terms like getting it from the mud, but you got it the right way. You got it the right way. You have I could tell people who have a home base, right? And in Christ, out of Christ, they got a value system that's keeping them, affording them a pathway to find sustainability and success. One of my themes is don't go 0 for 2, right? So don't go 0 for 2, meaning hey, of course I believe in eternity. My biggest goal is for God to receive me, right? But hey, listen, man, if you don't want to serve God, you might as well be the best at what you do. So those are the two things that I respect, man. People who are committed to their craft because you have something to offer value to people and inspire them by your pursuit of excellence. And then ultimately, I think the ultimate is fearing God, honoring Him, and allowing that light to shine in a way where people have an avenue to peace and purpose. Absolutely. So, man, you're making that headway, man. I want to thank you for your time. And
you as well. Absolutely.
Keep getting great done, bro.
I want to say,
give it to him.
I thank you for this opportunity. I love what you're doing. Also, Super Bowl weekend, I saw what you was doing. Phoenix.
Get some always on point management on that. I need some bro.
I was gonna hit you with that too, but we talk about that.
We can talk, bro, for sure. I'm humble enough to know that I can't do everything. I would never want to do everything. I got 7 kids. I'm out here deep in these streets, and so, I think that's where we're at. I think the people who are like-minded, share values, you always connect and find ways to serve one another. That's what we're doing right here, celebrate and elevate. So, man, appreciate it. We're looking forward to continue to build. Always on point.
Absolutely.